Welcome to the Hoof and Fang podcast. I'm Kirt Graves.
And I'm Maz Maddox.
And we're back. After a week off. Mm-hmm. Some of us rejuvenated, yes. Others less so.
Yes, it's true. Are you rejuvenated or are you just exhausted?
Yes.
Yes, both?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
I feel both. I was very, very tired by the end of the trip, but it was also nice to get away.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's fair.
We'll get into it.
Yes.
Should we start with what we're working on?
Sure.
Okay.
What am I working on? So I finally am now in the deep process of finishing Baja's Splash story. I have to walk back some stuff because
Now, did you say deep process?
Deep process.
Or de-process, like you're unprocessed?
No, deep. Like I'm in the middle of writing it. Like I'm almost done.
Process.
Deep process.
Okay.
But I do have to go back and fix something because I wrote it and I was like, no, I can do better. So I have to go back and fix it. But I think if I can, my hopes is that I can finish it up by this weekend and then kick it over to Jess so she can be like, yes. And then I'll get somebody to make sure it doesn't look like crap. Right. I give it to our patrons. So that's almost done. Save the Vampires with the betas officially. I think I said that last week though. So they're working on that. So I'm going through their notes. Yeah. And I'm meeting with Jess this week so we can start brainstorming Ruben and Shang's story. The first of the Origin series. And I'm really excited because I need her help reeling in all of my ideas because right now it's just vibes.
Oh, do you have too many?
Too many.
Do you have too many?
Too many for this one.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think Wednesday of this week, I'll officially be like, okay, I know what the hell I'm doing. Right. So I can get started on it. So that's exciting. I get to go back to the dinosaur boys, but the other ones that we really haven't been able to deep dive into yet.
Right.
So I'm excited.
Gosh. Expanding universes.
Yeah.
More dinosaurs.
More dinosaurs.
More. Just more.
What about you?
I am working on a new book in a new series by Andy Jackson and J.R. Gray. It's called On Guard. It's the first of the New York Gods series.
Nice.
So that's what I'm working on, in addition to Two Who Live On, which continues.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I'm strangely prepped for like 4 different projects right now, so I'm getting them mixed up in my head.
Yeah.
Because of when co-narrators are working, I was like, I had to be ready and get them things in advance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of contemporary romance on the schedule in the coming months. So yeah, I'm looking forward to some magic fairy bullshit in the future because I think I have some coming.
Good.
If memory serves, I have some magic fairy bullshit on its way, and that's my
that's the top tier stuff.
Yes, I need more of it. And also, I think while I was gone, Tempest finally came out. The audio from Kiki Clark.
I think I remember seeing that.
I finished it before I left, and I think it came out while I was gone.
Awesome. So, yeah.
Yes.
Man, busy.
Things just continue to come out.
Yes, that's awesome.
So yeah. It's a strange part of this work is just having it finished and then see how long it takes.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? That came out. I finished that months ago.
Yeah, right. It feels like a lifetime ago at that point.
I couldn't give you a summary of some of these books if you held a gun to my head. Dude. On the day they come out, the audio. It's like, well.
I can't imagine. I mean, I don't remember my own shit. I can't imagine if I was like reading back to back that much. It would just all be one giant weird story.
Right.
So.
And sometimes only half of back to back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so you only get like a half of what's
only
happening.
My half that I read in depth.
Yeah.
But, although I do know what's going on in the other chapters. I'm not one of those. I recently had a co-narration experience like that it was so clear in the way the guy was communicating with me that he just had not read my chapters.
Oh, that would be confusing, I would think.
Just hadn't read them.
Yeah.
And it was like, because he wasn't getting what I was telling him. And I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, come on, man.
If you had read the other half of the book, you would know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah,
He didn't.
That would be weird. I can't wrap my mind around that. Like if you're having to narrate this story, I would kind of want to know what the hell's going on.
You got to know what's going on in the other chapters.
I would think so.
Most of the time. Yeah. Sometimes like the two main characters will just split up and do their own thing for a little while. But you still gotta know. So I apologize for yawning.
You've had a long day.
I've been trying not to this whole time, and I think I just have to give up and acknowledge that it's going to happen sometimes.
I had an espresso before we started. That's the only reason why I'm so bubbly.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, it would be two yawning, sleepy people. Right
well,
now.
I mean, I still am getting up pretty early because I was on East Coast time for a few days there, which I leaned into because I don't mind getting up early and getting to the office early. I mean, today I did all of my recording. I was done by noon, which was great because it gave me time to work on all the other stuff I have to get done before we did this recording session. So I'm going to lean into getting up early. I'm coming into work early, but that does mean that by the time we're recording this at 3:00 in the afternoon, I'm going to be yawning. Yeah. So, yeah. I went on a cruise.
You did.
And there was also a conference and both things went well.
Great.
So, yeah.
Is this
Rainbow Readers Cruise was a success.
Fantastic.
And when you think about the fact that it was the first year and it went better than what we're hearing a lot of other conferences have gone this year, and they were not first year conferences. Kudos to Joel Leslie and Rich, his husband, who put that on, because it was very well organized things. I mean, I would say to the layman's eye, it was flawless.
Nice.
Like they did such a good job.
That's awesome.
Always things to, I think, probably learn from, and we'll see what they adjust for future years, like what maybe behind the scenes was going on that wasn't as smooth. Because I'm sure there were things. But they did a great job. It was a great time to get together with people who I hadn't seen, some of them in years. I got to meet new people, make new friends. As I said to you yesterday, people were excited to see me, which is, I always think, the proper way to greet me.
Yeah, to be excited. Yeah.
Like almost shaking, scared, excited. I think that's just
great.
Right. Yeah, that's just the way it's.
So you want people to just be terrified of you?
Not well, but like, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Really any reason is fine. Really any reason is fine. But terrified is,
so everyone take note. Approach humbly.
Yeah.
Like you're about to cry and he will be so happy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was nice to meet people who were fans of your work, because we've both gone to conventions where it was like, these are not our people.
Oh, yeah.
And it was not like GRL where people were excited to see you and so happy you were there and had actually experienced your work. This was one of those cruises where people had actually experienced my work.
Yeah.
And most of the time were willing to say nice things to me about it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I do kind of miss the GRL vibe of like being in the spaces of gay romance and people like.
Well, hey, I highly recommend Rainbow Readers Cruise.
Nice.
I am probably not going back next year, but maybe the year after.
Cool.
So maybe that can be your opportunity.
Yeah.
And like the cruising part of it was not bad.
Okay.
Like I did not get sick.
Good.
I enjoyed the cabin. I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed the destinations that we went to. I explored Key West for a little bit. I made friends. I'm friends with Chris Rice now.
Yeah, that was one of the notes, is that you got to hang out with fucking Christopher Rice, which is the coolest thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, we were con buddies, so I don't know if that extends into real life.
Well, see, but that you knowing him now, that means that I can be introduced to him. So you're like, you're my in.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
That's great. I'm so happy.
Yeah. So, I also met an author, Dominic Lim, who has a new book coming out in September called Karaoke Queen.
Cute.
Right. And it is about a drag queen and karaoke. But I am listening to his first book. It's called All the Right Notes, and I am loving this book.
Yeah.
It is not speculative fiction at all. So maybe for our audience, it is not the thing. But for me, it is musical theater. It is snark. It is second chance romance. It's bouncing back and forth from adult to teen. So it's like a YA new adult / adult rom-com.
That's a lot of your check marks.
It's so many things that I love.
Yeah.
It's so many things that I love, and I'm just loving it. So that's my recommendation for like what I'm consuming right now that I think you should go out and get is All the Right Notes. And I recommend the audio. The audio narrator is somebody I've never heard of before. He doesn't have a lot of credits, but he's doing a very good job. But there's also music in the book.
Oh, great.
So like he wrote a song and it's in the book, in the audio.
That's so awesome.
Yes, highly recommend that and checking out his work. So it's nice when you meet somebody and you like them as a person, and then you consume their work, and you're like, oh, thank God, it's good.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
yeah, because it's always the worst.
It was like that with you. Like, what if your shit was bad?
Yeah, right. I thought you were about to be
friends. Like, we were already friends when I was like, sure, I'll narrate your book.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Oh, God.
I hope it's passable. Yeah.
Right. So it was a lot of fun. It was great to be around that particular group of people. Speaking of drag queens.
Yes.
So I did the drag.
Yes.
It was successful.
Great.
It took up 3/4 of my large suitcase. That's the checked bag.
Yeah.
So I actually left stuff behind so I could take the drag.
Yeah.
That's a little ridiculous, but it takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
To add to your body to do that transformation. And the reviews were positive.
Great.
I made it into the final 2.
I love it.
And that is where Dominic Lim kicked my ass
in
the final 2. Bitch was doing splits and had more props than me, and I had a costume reveal that did not work because the chain broke on my costume. So yeah, I had a whole second outfit that nobody even got to see because it couldn't reveal. But and I fully embrace the fact that it was like by audience applause who made it into the final 2.
Yeah.
And like I was a distant second place, barely beating out somebody else, and I very much leaned into my influence in the genre. I was like, guys.
Yeah, right.
I've put in the time.
I'm pulling the card. Yeah.
Keep clapping.
That's great.
I've been around.
Yeah.
So it's going to be me. All right.
Right.
That's
amazing.
Yes. This person who's actually deserves it. And then
there's me. Yeah.
But final 2.
Nice.
I did it.
Considering this is the first time that this is your first time doing drag, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure I didn't make that up.
This was my debut.
Yeah. Well, then you got second
and
place.
Maybe my farewell tour.
Oh, you're not thinking about ever doing it again?
It is. I'm so torn because it's not something I was ever like, yes, I want to do this.
Yeah.
But it went relatively well.
Yeah.
And I bought all the stuff. And it's like, well,
now
now
you
that I have it.
Right.
I should use it. That's my Wisconsin mentality. Like,
Right.
I have the thing. I should use it. So
Can't
we'll
be
see.
wasted.
I don't know. But I have no current plans to be doing it.
It might be one of those things that where you save it and then the opportunity comes later and you're like, I have all the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The others, it's so frightening now that photos and videos are starting to pour in from people on the cruise who were taking pictures and videos during that time. It is so scary how much I look like my mother.
Really?
Like unsettling.
Oh my God. I haven't seen any pictures. Do you have some that I can see, or do I have to go hunt them down myself?
I have some. I don't know that I can let you see them.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm still, I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not going to pressure you.
Maybe I'll put some out in the Patreon group. But part of it is that like, you had to be there.
Okay. That's fair.
Like that was a special thing for those folks who showed up.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't know. There are already like little me in the background of like some other people who've already posted stuff. So it's out there. It's getting around.
Okay. I'll have to peer around then, see if maybe I can catch glimpses.
Yeah. Okay. So, but it was a special thing for those very special people who I then bribed basically or like guilted into giving me a final shot. But we were also collecting tips during that performance for the Trevor Project.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if Joel has actually released this information, but he told me, I'll just say it was over $2,000.
Great.
Which is great.
That's so cool.
Hopefully he's okay with me sharing that with the world, that like people were very generous with their tips. And but like there were 7 performers, and like for that many people and that length of a show to gather that much in donations.
That's fantastic.
Good job, Rainbow Reader Cruisers.
Yeah.
You did it.
That's so awesome.
You did it.
Cool.
So, yeah, and then you also went to a convention.
Yes, but I didn't have any fun.
I would say, but you had a different experience?
Yeah, mine was not relaxing. It was the first time me and Alex went to a huge fan expo in Chicago. And I've been to cons. I used to go to like anime conventions and stuff all the time. Me and Alex go to the Oddities Expo every year. This one was not that. It was this, I mean, they have like William Shatner and other big actual celebrities there. So I just wasn't thinking everyone on the planet was going to this thing. So it was so many people that as soon as I walked in, I was overwhelmed and wanted to leave. Like, cause it was just a sea of bodies. All the little walkways to like go shopping were really narrow and packed with people. And like, it was unbearably hot and just crowded and loud. And like my phone map wouldn't work and I couldn't figure out where I was most of the time. I had to wait in line for an hour just to get some water. It was bad. Wow. It was really bad. So we ended up not being able to really even see the rest of the con because we had to wait in line for 5 hours to see Neil, which is who we were there to see. And it was awful. And standing on concrete for that long, like, kicked my ass. And poor Alex's knees are so bad. He was like hobbling around for 2 days afterwards. So it sucked. It was not fun, but I did get my autograph and my picture. So at least there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not great. We burned an entire Saturday doing that.
Right.
And then like we had Sunday of being sore and miserable. And then we were back to like work and stuff after that. So yeah, not great. I was so excited about it and it ended up being such a drag and not in a good way.
Right. Not in a fun way. If it makes Alex feel any better, my knee is also hurting right now.
Yeah.
But it's because I was walking around in 4-inch heels on a boat.
Yeah, so, that'll do it.
Boo-hoo, Alex, standing on concrete.
Yeah, well, we had different levels of knee injuries, I suppose. You were in 4-inch heels? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. You would be ripped up after
It had to be something serious. Otherwise, I wasn't going to do it halfway.
No, you got to do the whole thing.
I think people were surprised by the fact that, no, I'm going all out. Like, I'm not half-assing this.
Yeah.
So.
Rock on.
Yeah.
I don't think I have some big ass heels like that, but Jesus, man. Like, it's one of those things where if I wear heels like that, I have to be stone sober for the rest of the night because I'll have like a whiff of alcohol and my ass is going down. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, yeah, my head is off.
There certainly are more hazards with those.
It's walking on stilts.
Yeah.
And like, good luck. So,
yeah.
Good job.
Thank God I had practiced. Because even with the practice, I think just by virtue of the fact that it was the last night and I hadn't been getting a lot of sleep because there was lots of early morning and late night activities and my body was just physically exhausted and the adrenaline was running out.
Yeah.
By the time it actually came to like get off stage after my number, like my legs were shaking.
I bet.
And I was like, why is this so physically hard? I've worn these heels for longer than this. Like I've been wearing them at rehearsals for like an hour and a half just to get used to having them on my feet for that long.
Yeah.
And I had no issue, but like a 10-minute song. And by the end of it, I couldn't stand up. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, this is a strange moment of feeling like my body is telling me no.
Yeah.
My body is saying this is enough.
I think I've been in that, obviously not on stage or anything because I'm not that kind of person, but I have been that level of terrified in a situation where I'm wearing heels and it is a terrible feeling. Like you're like a wobbly baby giraffe and you're like, I'm going down. This is it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to make it kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oof.
It was quite the experience. Mine good, yours bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sorry.
That's okay.
And it was literally just called Huge Fan Event Expo.
It's just Fan Expo Chicago.
Oh, Fan Expo Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just oof. But apparently this is the norm. People are like, oh yeah, you're supposed to stand in line for hours. I'm like, no. It could be better because the photo op had a time. Like I was supposed to be there at 3:10 and I was
going to say, don't they have like fast pass?
Right.
Just like if theme parks can figure this out.
That's exactly my thought. I was like the photo thing, I was in and out pretty quickly and I knew when to show up. I prepaid for both things. But yeah, for just a flat autograph, I was in that line for like 4 or 5 hours. I had to leave Alex in line for me to go get the picture. And he
couldn't just sign the picture while you were standing there?
Well, I asked and they're like, no, it's different. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But actually fun story from that. So Alex had my picture and I posted it on Patreon. It's a commissioned art of Astarion and my main character. And so I told Alex to hold on to it. So I had to go do the picture thing. So I ran over there. I was waiting in line. He calls me and he's like, hey, Neil's still here signing autographs. And I was like, okay.
How is he?
I was like, does he have a twin? Yeah. And so he was like, no, he's still here and the line is moving. Do you want me to get this signed for you? And I was like, should I go back? But it was like the other side of the convention at this point.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I'll make it. Like, I feel like I should stay here. And he's like, just tell me what you want on it. I'll get it signed. And I was like, you're such a trooper, right? Aww. So I had to like send him my ticket and stuff. Neil ended up leaving and coming to where we were before Alex got to him, but later I was like, what were you going to do? Were you just going to say it was for your wife? He was like, no, I was just going to lean into it and be like, I'm Marky. This is me and my character. Yeah. Sign it. You know, it's like, I love that so much. Yeah. I kind of wish that happened now. I would have like loved that experience, but yeah. So
there's no way for them to know.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't have cared either. He probably just whatever. But yeah, Alex was like, no, I was just going to pretend to be you. Who cares? Marky's a boy name. I was like, great.
Could be.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who cares? Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was funny.
Well, so yeah, that was a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
And now we're back into the swing of things. Not only is there a new episode today, for our whole audience, but the Patreon has started up again. Yep. So there was a new episode of Two Who Live On that came out this week, as well as a new Animorphs episode. Next week, we'll be doing Two Who Live On episode 7. Yes. I think that's the penultimate episode, if I remember correctly. I think we only have 2 more to go.
Nice.
So we're getting close to the end of that book, and then we'll probably need to announce the next one at some point.
Exciting.
Yeah, I guess we need to remember to do that.
Yes.
Before it's like, oh, here it is.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, ta-da.
Whoops.
Yeah.
And then we will also be recapping Animorphs number 40 next week. And then you can still get Save the Vampire work in progress chapters every Friday.
Yep.
So we have a game today.
Yes, we have a game.
But unlike every other game that we've ever done on this podcast, I didn't create it.
Yes, it's me this time.
It's me. It's me. Marky.
I feel like I should be saying that more.
Maz Maddox.
Good Lord. So this is actually, I stole this game from Leaves, a tea house in Texas, in Fort Worth, Texas. They do author get-togethers a lot.
Okay.
And one of the things they like to do as a game for the authors is that they have them guess what the first line of a book is, a book that's not theirs, like just a random book. So they have one real line and then 2 fake ones. You have to figure out which one's which. So I figured we'd do something like that. But I pulled books from our bookshelf. So I think things that
So these are books I have narrated?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I have some familiarity with them.
Yes. I know that not everything on the bookshelf is stuff that you've narrated, but I'm pretty sure that you've narrated all of these. So yeah, I grabbed Circle of Stars by Craig Montgomery, Boyfriend Subscription by Stephen Salvatore.
Yep.
Gardens and Ghosts by me.
Yeah.
And then Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. So we'll start with Circle of Stars.
Some of these, it's been a long
I know. And like, so because all of the other authors are very talented, I couldn't just, everything I made up sounded like crap. So I kind of Frankensteined some of their other sentences. One of them is correct. The other one's kind of technically not the first line, but like later down the road kind of thing.
All right.
Okay. So we'll start with Circle of Stars. Okay. Option 1. Casper Bell watched in a fog as his father threw a blue duffel bag outside. That's option 1.
Okay.
Option 2. Casper Bell pressed himself against the foyer wall and wished he could disappear. And then option 3. Casper Bell shrank into himself as his life crumbled around him.
I am getting a very clear picture of a duffel bag going out the door. So I think it's option number 1.
It is not.
Oh, damn.
The real one is pressed himself against the foyer and wished he could disappear. But later on, like further down the page, his father does throw their duffel.
Yeah,
so I was like, I snatched it from there. Okay. The next one is the Boyfriend Subscription.
Okay.
So option 1, Plant Daddy Nursery was nothing now but empty shelves. Option 2, watching something beautiful grow is better than sex. And then option 3, nothing is better than sinking my fingers into fresh soil.
I am going to guess number 3, but it's a guess.
You got it.
Okay.
Number 3. Ding, ding, ding.
Great.
Okay. Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert.
Okay.
Option 1, you can't kill me, you don't have the strength. Option 2, you're defenseless, surrender or die. Option 3, if you're going to try to defeat me, make it count.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't think I narrated the first chapter of this book.
Oh, really?
So
oh, no.
I'm truly guessing.
Okay.
We haven't done the second option yet, so let's go with option number 2.
No.
Okay.
It was number 1, you can't kill me, you don't have the strength.
Okay.
But you didn't, that's not fair. You don't know that one.
I don't think that was my character. I think that was the other person.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it probably was the next. I should have picked. Had I known.
Well,
see, that's on me.
Yeah, because that was a co-narration.
Okay.
So, and the boyfriend subscription was a co-narration, but I did narrate the first chapter of that book.
Okay. Well, next time I'll
pull
from there.
I was the plant daddy guy. So
okay.
That was me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last one we'll do is mine, Gardens and Ghosts. So option 1, come on, Monty, it isn't that bad. Option 2, you're scaring the museum patrons with that face. And then option 3, you look like you swallowed a lemon.
Okay, so this was a prologue that was like in the past.
Yeah, it's from Reaper's point of view.
So there's not a lot for me to go off of because that was such a standalone moment. I do remember him approaching. I'm going to go with Come On, Monty. It's not that bad.
No, it's You look like you swallowed a lemon.
Okay.
But that's not fair because I could have wrote any of that.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
It all makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's unfair.
I shouldn't pick my own.
With this game. No, not that you did pick your own, but that like all of them, like I don't know. Is that the point of the game?
Like, it's just for fun.
To remember how the book starts or to remember the specific wording of the sentence? Because I don't think I have any chance of remembering the specific wording of a sentence, but I do vaguely remember how these books start.
Right, yeah. No, it's just more for funsies.
The sense of a first line I could probably get. But when all of these, when all of the options are from like the first couple paragraphs of the book, it's like, well, some of them I made up completely. Like Annabeth's, all the fake ones I just made up. Oh, okay.
So like I just tried to make it sound like a good first line.
Sure.
So, but like for Circle of Stars, actually one of the first ones I picked was Icarus. And that one starts so interesting. I was like, there's no way he's not going to get it. Because it was like the room was dark and still. Like cat burglars rarely wear shoes or something. I was like, that's so interesting, immediately. So I couldn't think of anything that would rival that. So I had to put it back. I was like, oh, this is too good. Okay, let me try to get something a little bit more my speed.
Damn you, Kayla.
Yeah, God. With your prose and your interesting first lines.
Yes.
So yeah, a lot of these are just either Frankenstein or I just made up completely. But yeah, that's kind of the point of the game. Is just like see which one sounds the most interesting and see if it actually is the first line or not. So.
Well, I don't like this game because I didn't win it.
That's how I get. Yeah, if I'm terrible at it, I never want to do it again.
Boo, this was awful.
Boo, no, I'm never going to do this again. Oh, shit.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you guys this week. We will be back next week, and now we're sort of getting back into the swing of things on a regular basis. So we shouldn't be taking a break for a while, and if we do, that means something went wrong.
Exactly.
Something terrible went wrong. But you can always find out what we're up to through our social media. Just search Hoof and Fang Podcast. You can also go to hoofandfangpodcast.com to see what we're up to and get a link to our Patreon where you can join and you can be getting the Two Who Live On audiobook. You can be, if you join now, you get the whole audiobook once it becomes available in a couple of weeks.
Yes, this is like the best time because
it's
like
join
almost
now,
done.
you get 40% off of everything that's in our online store, and that catalog has grown.
Yes.
And starting next month, some of those things are going to go away.
Yes, that's true.
So if you want that 40% discount, get in there now. You can also get the works in progress, the Animorphs episodes, lots of fun stuff going on behind that paywall. So check us out.
Yeah.
And we will be back in your ears next week.
Yeah. See you then.
Bye.